Don't get your feelings hurt. Read this.
Well, welcome back to Payman's Void for another episode of Short Film Roundup, where three cursed filmmakers,
Hey.
review user-submitted short films.
Are you cold?
Freezing.
It's always cold in here.
Did you take a swim? Is that why you're cold now?
Yeah, they didn't have towels.
They didn't have towels.
Always in the pool.
Okay.
So we're cursed to dwell in this void of nothingness, except for Taylor here, who has pool privileges.
I can do anything.
Apparently.
I'm like this with payment.
I don't think that's a good place to be. I don't think you want to be like this with the demon.
I'm producing his next film.
Did you see his last film?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Wait, is this his next
Really
film?
deep.
Satisfaction?
No.
Anyway, let's get some housekeeping.
What do we do here?
We review short films,
Okay.
user-submitted short films. We've been doing it for approximately 40 episodes now.
Just about.
Okay. We're getting close to the end of the year, guys.
Yeah.
And that will close Short Film Roundup 2018.
Hell yeah.
And to celebrate, we are going to do the first annual Short Film Roundup Awards.
Award ceremony.
Oh yeah.
Yes, on January 1st, we will be recognizing the best of the short films that were submitted to us over the year.
Everyone submitted up until that point will be considered for an award.
Yep, including the film we're reviewing today.
Correct. So please do like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff.
And feel free to submit, even though it adds to our ongoing torture.
Yes.
So we are actually at the...
We're getting pretty close to the end of those films.
Yeah, I'm
right?
kind of excited. If we keep up the pace, we may even be home for the holidays.
That'd be really nice.
That would
Yeah,
be
my
great.
family will probably misses me.
I think...
Oh, but I mean, like, are we gonna keep doing short film roundup? Like we are.
No, definitely not.
Please, please, can we?
I don't know if I...
Because I really like
short
doing
film
this.
roundup.
It's just an obligation, man.
Anyway.
Let's get this over with.
This is Satisfaction by Sean Macgrath, submitted to us by Tom Tropiano.
Who played Eddie in the film?
He did. So, Sean, if you're watching this and you're like, what?
It's not our fault.
It was Tom's fault.
Blame Tom.
Yeah.
Tom brought this upon you.
So, let's go watch it. We have a link in the description. You can click on it.
About 21 minutes long. Feel free to comment after you've watched the film. Let us know what you think. And, if you happen to violently disagree with us, let us know.
Violently. Wow.
Use strong language, too.
Please, yeah.
Troll us. Now go watch that movie.
All right, we back.
All right.
Back.
We back.
Can I start off with a story?
Absolutely. Start off with the
This
story.
was kind of funny.
Do it.
Because we started watching this movie, and the opening segment is kind of like a music video.
Yeah.
A sort of montage of him murdering a bunch of people to a happy song. And eventually we fade to black, title comes up, and we see some credits. I genuinely thought the movie was over.
I did
and so did Dee. And we were like ready to get
I
up.
straight up paused the video.
Yeah, we were ready to get up and go review the movie. We're like, well, that was kind of weird, but all right.
Okay.
And then the movie started again, and I thought, oh, post-credit scene. That wasn't a post-credit scene. That was the beginning of the movie. And so because of that little fake out, it actually felt like it felt very long.
Yeah.
Because my mind had already said the movie's over.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
from that point on, we're just like, oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, there's more.
There's way more.
Okay.
I knew it was 20 minutes going in.
You had already looked it up.
Yeah.
But didn't it feel like that was a end of movie
Definitely.
title reveal as opposed
Yeah.
to a beginning of
Absolutely.
movie title
Because the
reveal?
thing is even feature-length films don't have like a 3.5 minute, then title reveal. Most
Not
of the time.
often.
Yeah.
Michael Mann
not a whole-
does.
Yeah. It does happen. Like,
Michael
it's not
Mann
like,
will
yeah.
reveal his title a half an hour into the movie.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you're doing a short film, you just don't do that. Just don't do it.
I don't know.
you know?
It's 20 minutes. I mean, it's
Honestly,
I guess
no.
it's,
Just don't do title reveals. Just don't do those.
title reveals.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can talk about the movie itself.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
So you lead us. D.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
tell
go-
us who talks. You make someone talk
D
about
talk.
this.
You talk, D.
Talk now.
Talk.
Oh man, I don't know where to start.
Can I give one solid overarching
Tell me.
piece of advice?
Tell me.
Advice to the filmmaker.
This is my. So I assume that you guys haven't made a ton of films because this movie does come across as very, very amateur. There's nothing wrong with that, of course. I think my piece of advice would be that you'd be better off experience-wise by making 10 1-minute short films rather than one 20-minute short film.
Absolutely.
Like you would have a better experience, and you'd probably be a little bit more of a refined, or you'd be able to get better at filmmaking that way. I would think.
I think
That's
you'd
my
also make
advice.
better films.
Yeah,
I really do.
Like you got to start out small.
Yeah, absolutely. If you start out small, you can have a much better grasp on what you're doing.
Yeah.
More control. There's a piece of advice that I got from a magician friend of mine who said, when you are doing a magic move, own the move, is what he would say. And it never really occurred to me until I would do like just a magic move as opposed to like a long, like what do you call it? What is the magic thing called?
Illusion.
A whole trick.
Yeah.
You know, instead of focusing on the whole trick, you focus on the move and then the move. Anyway, but the point of it being that a shorter version is much easier to control. So with that being said, let's dig in. The opening shots of here tells us that this is our main character.
Yes.
And I have a very, very weird time with this because it's obvious that we're going after the same kind of vibe that American Psycho was doing, where we are focusing on a killer for, at the end of the video, seems to be no reason.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of American Psycho, we understand that he's not all there, and this whole experience may have been something that we haven't grasped the full thing yet, that there's more here. And so the reason why we were taken on that journey was to experience that journey, was to say, this guy may be insane, we don't know, to go on this journey with us. With this, it's like, here's the mind of a killer. And that's
It's
it.
a presentation,
Yeah.
not a journey.
Yeah.
Showing, not taking.
We don't have, like in American Psycho, we have a guy who has challenges ahead of him they're stupid challenges, but they are challenges. There are people who are better than he is, even though he sees himself as better than other people. So then he goes and tries to go on killing spree and stuff like that. We have a main character who has a goal, and then he has challenges, and the conflict becomes the film. This is about a guy who does not have a goal, but still has conflict.
Yeah.
So we have a film that has no point.
Right.
And that made it, along with the weird editing choice, made it very, very long.
Yeah. The part of that is just not knowing who we're following,
Yeah.
who we're investing into. Much of this movie built this guy, the main character, up as the main character, and much of it was shot as if we were supposed to like him.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the more candid stuff, him like singing in his bedroom and all that, it was like become invested in this guy. But then we totally shift course to this group of friends, and the movie becomes totally from their perspective at him instead. And so the end result is you don't end up invested in anyone, and therefore you feel nothing.
Yeah. It would have been actually the way the story was told, with the Jace being this character who was...
The movie should have focused on Jace. Jace should have been the central...
Jace would have been a perfect, I think, character.
Yeah, Jace should have totally been the central character of this movie. It would have worked so much better because Jace actually has an arc.
Right.
We didn't see it. They didn't explain it. They didn't give it any of the breathing room it deserved. But Jace is the only character who actually changed and went someplace.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And was betrayed, and that was really cool.
Yeah. So Jace's story could have been could have actually tugged on our hearts and mattered. Mm-hmm. But it was very secondary to everything else going on.
It was very much. Yeah. We focused a lot on this guy.
Oh yeah,
This one.
I actually this is crazy because these guys' relationship does take a pretty big focus of a chunk of the movie.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it's like almost completely dropped.
Yeah. As soon as the bigger guy.
And the taller guy is a bad friend.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, the girl is totally right when she says that you're not a good friend.
Yeah, no, he
I'm
totally
like,
is.
yeah, he is a bad friend. She's like, would you defend me? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, he's a bad guy.
He's a bad friend.
I want to see him stabbed.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that we talk about these other characters, even though they're not as focused on, but they're all much more interesting.
Then the main guy who is
The
supposed to be
murderer
main
is
character.
is flat. It's like
He's a
it's
one-sided person.
not interesting at all because it's like all you do is murder.
Yeah.
Right,
That's it.
and that's it. Yeah,
That's it. You're
Like, who
just,
cares?
you could be a murdering robot. You could be a plague or
Yeah.
something. you
yeah,
know?
and all the other people have what's the word?
Some human traits.
They're human.
Yeah, and like conflicts and interesting arcs.
Yeah, they're all pretty interesting.
Now, like, of course, there's a ton of amateur stuff here that you could pick on if you really wanted to. I think it'd be a waste of our time because this is an amateur film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
It's-
fine.
that's fine.
You know, the fact that you don't have, great acting or great camera work and stuff, but there are some things that could have made this film be a lot better technically that are just small things that no filmmaker should ignore.
Yeah,
One of those, a huge one for this movie, is the sound. That to me, the sound is the biggest mess in this film.
yeah,
Editing is a close second.
yeah.
But we have moments where the sound just completely drops out. It just stops.
Well, what we're talking about with sound is room tone, right?
yeah.
Yeah, where we have just,
Room tone or exterior ambience.
Yeah, and then it just cuts
just
out.
stops,
Yeah.
Like
Also, when we're editing sound together, we have moments where, like, you hear the droning of a car's engine in the background, and then it, like, fades out and comes back in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or there was even a part where we heard the director say something in the back. It was this. It was the shower shot.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
it was just before the cut was okay.
Oh, man.
So yeah, sound is
Yeah.
the one thing about any kind of film, no matter what technical aspect that you have, if sound isn't not perfect, but if sound isn't at least consistent,
Sound errors hurt the movie worse
They hurt.
than visual errors.
Yep.
yeah,
Like there's the scene in here where they're outside and there's like a close up of the hose dripping water on the cement.
and it was completely silent.
Completely silent.
Yeah,
Which makes me feel like, we're from the perspective of the dying guy and he's lost his hearing. Like, that's the
That's
only
what it-
thing you can,
yeah.
you're like, oh, someone lost their hearing, someone got hit over the head or something.
yeah,
It means something to the audience when there's no audio.
right.
And it's not that hard to go online and just
You can
search
get
up
trickling water.
free trickling water
You
sound
can
effect,
get,
you know.
and you could just get a static room tone sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean-
just a background hiss is better than nothing.
Yeah, there's I think the main concern with sound being consistent, at least for the background noise, what we know as room tone, is to have it so that these gaps where we have zero sound aren't there. What you can do to get just regular room tone is just do whatever recording device you have and just record just air for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Take it and loop it throughout the
In-
entire thing.
Yep.
Or in every location you shoot,
Yeah.
either before or after,
Yeah.
run your mics for room tone for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just say, everyone be quiet. We're just going to record this room for a minute.
Yeah.
Right.
You can patch that in throughout the whole scene and have a nice, consistent sound.
It's kind of cool too because then like when you're on set and doing like a bunch of shots and like it's all fast paced and everyone's talking and it's loud and all that, and then you're like, okay guys, we gotta get room tone, and then it's like everyone just meditates for 1 minute.
Right.
Everyone's just sitting.
Yeah, I
Dead
feel like the
silent.
room tone recording is like a sacred experience.
Yeah.
It's like a special part of,
Yeah.
of,
It's
the,
fun.
of the shoot.
That is something beginning filmmakers should know, is that when you record room tone, you want all of the actors in the room.
Yes,
Because
it's the
sound
full room.
reflections are different.
Yes,
Yeah.
You want everything the same.
Yeah.
The editing problems, I mean, where to go with this.
Before we get into editing,
It's a mess. I mean, it's a big mess.
It's a big mess. Before we do that, I think the basis of the film, is what makes everything kind of stand out, and that's the script, right? The writing here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every single action in this film is unmotivated, and I don't mean all the killing. All the killing is obviously motivated from the character. The character is just an absurd killing machine guy, but every action of like the people talking to themselves and then going outside to see what happened and then taking a drink because someone else told them to. It's all very what movies have done, therefore I gonna do it too. Cliche is the word. I didn't feel like almost anything in here was organic. And what I mean by organic is that we have a character who naturally feels a certain way and therefore does a certain action. The only person who was organic was our killer, because we just assume that he's a crazy guy, and so he just does whatever, and everything that he does is crazy.
Yeah.
So that's it.
And there's a lot of stuff in here where it's just like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Right? So,
Yeah.
what did it do? So, the girl who microwaves her pasta without water and then dumps it out.
Right.
It did that.
That was
the point of that
It meant
happening
nothing at all to the whole story. Same girl is in the bathroom. We watch her go into the bathroom, wash her hands, do this weird creepy thing over the shoulder like someone's going to jump out of the shower to scare her.
I think that's what they were trying to do.
Build tension.
It didn't work.
Was tension, right? It didn't work, yeah.
The point is, it was another completely unnecessary scene.
Yeah.
The only thing we're revealing is that she hears bangs.
She hears noise.
Um,
Yeah, this is totally unnecessary.
This was extreme.
This right here.
Yeah. This is like, look, someone's going to jump out and scare her. There it is. Nope.
Yeah, and then nothing.
I didn't understand
that was
that at all.
another
I
editing
didn't even feel
issue
like it
there,
was-
where the camera started to drift off because the shot was over, but we still have it.
So that was what I was talking about with this
Watch
shot right here.
That's the shot, and then cameraman's already is done.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the part in there.
And that's where you hear him?
We hear
Okay.
him going, okay.
And so that's an editing error. The other one is on several of the stab moments.
Yeah.
We stay on. We've seen this in a couple other films too, where
Yeah.
stabbings are in it, where you don't cut away soon enough, and
Yeah.
so you see his arm slow down. You see him hold back. You can tell that it's a fake stab. But if you just cut away a few frames earlier, he would have still had his forward momentum.
Yep. Absolutely.
That.
I think besides the sound, another thing that really would have boosted the overall, or at least cut down on the amateur feel here, is using different focal lengths. Because I know that you had a zoom lens, because you can see it zoom every now and again. Like, for instance, that shot with the shower where she's all out of focus and it slightly goes over her shoulder.
Yeah.
There's a quick second where it zooms in slightly.
Are you sure that's a zoom, or is that
I'm pretty sure.
Or is that like one of those functions in the camera?
No, look.
Yeah.
It did look like a little jump.
A little zoom, yeah.
So my point is, if you have a zoom lens, you can do different focal lengths, and that would have really helped a lot, because the whole thing is wide, and if you just stick wide the entire time, especially when you don't really need to,
I'm wondering if
it feels weird.
I'm wondering if it's fixed, because I don't see any other.
I mean,
any other use of.
I'm pretty confident it zoomed where I was showing you.
But why would they stick with wide all the time?
That's what I'm critiquing.
One of the things of the character part in here, of the guy who's keeps using this rag.
It's got a lot of chloroform.
We don't ever see the bottle.
No, it's just a rag.
It's just a rag.
And it takes so long for the chloroform to kick in on some of these people that it made me start to wonder if he's just choking them out.
So that's what I was thinking.
And using the rag to muffle their scream.
Yeah, I'm like,
because Jace didn't go out at all.
No.
But the first couple times we see him use the rag, the people go out, like their lights go out, like they're using chloroform.
Right.
So, question. Is Murderer using a rag covered with chloroform, or is it just to muffle screams while he chokes them out?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be my question, too.
Because I'm thinking, like, dude, Jace is very lucid for just inhaling a ton of chloroform.
Right there, yeah, exactly.
I think Jace has a cool haircut.
Jace does have a cool haircut.
Just so I can say a few positive things.
I love the killer guy's smile, like his insane smile, like where he's just like way over the top.
He's got a good crazy.
Like that's a great
does a good crazy
smile.
He's good at being creepy.
Yeah.
The character that they call the fearless leader.
Who's that?
The guy who drives off to the middle of the woods. He has the wrong address, and then he shows up later, and then he gets murdered. And when he's being murdered, the guy's like, "You testosterone monster! You think you're so cool? I'm going to kill you!" Right?
I didn't get any of that.
Well, it was like he was a
understand what was
very
happening.
important character.
This guy?
Everything said about this guy
Yeah.
indicated that he was extremely important. Like, everyone wanted him to be there.
But we
When
just
he
now
got
saw
there,
him.
he's the fearless leader. He has the most dramatic murder scene, and yet we know nothing about
Yeah.
him. We have
Didn't
no
even know he
idea
existed.
who he. If his content was completely out of the movie, it'd be the same movie.
Right.
It wouldn't change at all.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that at all. Character development is a big missing piece here. And that kind of camera move is
really
makes you very
really-
conscious
yeah.
of the cameraman.
Well, I heard lots of
I
footsteps
just saw
also.
the camera guy in the reflection.
There were times where we had...
See, he's zoomed in there.
Oh, this is zoomed in right here. Oh,
Nope.
yeah.
Yep.
Zoomed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so you
that
got to
was
use your
a
focal
good-
length, dude.
That was
Use
a good
focal length.
a good hit when he hits the wall there.
Did you like that?
There were some very bad falls in this movie, but that one looked kind of legit.
Yeah.
He gave in there though.
I don't know.
All right,
But he did hit himself, but he consciously decided to.
the hand here to slow himself down wasn't, but I mean the face against the wall was good.
Yeah.
To fully make my point, and I'm trying to make a point now that we know that it was a zoom.
You can't zoom, yeah.
Yeah, that by staying wide the entire time, even when it's not necessary, it makes it feel like a home movie almost.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially during like the parts where we have two characters talking to each other.
Yeah, or like
That-
going to open a door, and it's still like super wide.
Right.
It's like,
Go back to
Give me some
where the guy
close-ups.
is standing in his room.
Standing in his room.
Yeah,
I don't know what part you're talking about.
he had his arms folded. Oh wait,
What did you
Maybe not.
Where do you want me to go?
go back to where he's standing in front of those doors. That-
what are they looking at?
no, never mind. But leave it here for a sec. This scene struck me as a little preposterous because this guy had given a lecture to his friend on the way over saying, this guy has all the earmarks of a serial killer, right? And then he goes, hey, how about you and I step outside to hash this out together? And he's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. He goes, okay. That's what I mean by unmotivated, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I read that line as like sarcastic, like being like, oh, this guy is crazy, but like not literally. Like I literally think this guy's a serial killer.
So like he does.
There were several times where I think you accidentally used Dutch angles where I went, oh, that's cool. But it did not look on purpose.
Where was that? Just a few times.
There was once when he's in his bedroom on the phone talking to them saying, hey, come over. And also in the opening montage when he meets that girl on the beach. See?
Oh yeah,
Look at that one.
that's
Like, it's
super
like,
Dutch.
Whoa.
I wonder why that's that way.
That smile right there, I love it. That's so good.
Cheers. Murder.
Why doesn't he just poison everyone?
Because that's goes against his character. He wants to fight.
Yeah, they
wants
revealed
people
that
to
later.
fight back.
So
There's
why?
a-
And then he got stabbed at the end, and he's like, "Thank you," and he dies.
Yeah,
and then
see,
he's not dead.
Again, that feels cliche.
And somehow,
It feels-
cut in the middle of that, we see the other friend get up and then lay back down, and I'm like, "What? What?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
What happened? What is going on?"
There's a motivation technique that filmmakers like to talk about, and that's why didn't they call the cops?
Yeah.
is the thing. I understand here that no one knows what's going on, so I understand no one would call the cops in this instance. But the fact that I just said, why doesn't he just poison everyone? Like, if there's gaps like that stop your story from happening, then you need to find out what's motivating your story forward,
Or reveal that he likes the sport of killing earlier on.
Exactly. To make it matter.
Yeah, before you can ask the question.
How much did it cost to license all of this music? Wow.
Thousands.
That's like...
Got the Rolling Stones, you got Ween, Huey Lewis and the News.
I want to say something here. The knife that you're using is real. That's a bad thing to do. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true.
It's very dangerous.
Don't use real knives. What you really should do is just use a handle and then add in the blade
in post.
That's what we would do.
No, I would say
you get a rubber knife.
What would you do?
No, use a regular knife, but dull the blade like a lot, and maybe that's what you did here. But it's very dangerous to do that kind of stuff without obviously professional choreography.
You can get a good fake knife.
Yeah,
They're
and
not
you can get
expensive.
And the thing is, plastic knives. I mean, people use styrofoam rocks all the time, in like really big budget films, and that's obviously so you don't hurt people. So just keep in mind that kind of thing.
I just saw a short film on Reddit that was not submitted to us, so I just watched it.
You watch short films without us?
Yeah.
Without us.
Believe it or not, outside of here, I still watch some short
Outside
films.
of where? This is a void.
You can't get outside of the void.
I mean, I can leave the table. I'm still in the void.
Wait, you can live.
I can still watch shows.
Can you guys actually get up?
Yeah.
I've not been able to yet, so.
Huh.
Do you still have legs? Oh.
You're saying.
I was watching this short film, and it was definitely kind of like amateurish also, and the idea was like just to do a fight scene, and they had these two guys doing a fight scene with like these giant machetes that were like straight up real. They had these real machetes, real like huge knives, and they were full on hitting blade to blade like as hard as they could at each other, and like it was like I was very worried. I was watching this, I was like, this is making me extremely nervous because it's real.
See,
yes.
So for example, if you were to use lightsabers, right?
Yeah.
There's no question that everyone looks at a lightsaber and goes, "Oh, that's dangerous."
Yeah.
When all you're using is a stick, So you don't need something real to make it look real on film.
Yeah.
And you don't need visual effects either. That's not the point. The point is that you can use something as long as the context is there. It'll be good.
Like Filmright did a thing with a crowbar where all it was a guy sitting in a garage, and then a guy has a crowbar. He comes up, lifts it up in the air, and then swings it down and hits him in the head. And it's extremely, extremely violent. And the way they achieved it was by having a shot of the whole thing. The guy walks up behind him. You see him holding a real crowbar in his hand. You see him raise the crowbar. They cut to a close-up of the real crowbar going up. And then when they cut back wide, he comes back down and hits him as hard as he can with a fake, like they took like a pool noodle and like carved it out and then spray painted it.
See?
And you can't even tell
That's
the difference.
great. Yeah.
It's just so fast.
Yeah, that's
But,
really good.
You could set up a real knife in the shot prior,
Yeah.
and then swap it out for a fake one.
And even
Can't
if
tell the difference.
Yeah, and if it's like plastic or anything like that, or even if you can't buy a dollar store plastic thing, you can get maybe some foil, wrap it around cardboard or some shit.
Yeah.
But like, if it's in motion, no one's gonna tell. You
Yeah.
know, that's what editing's for.
Yeah.
So.
Styrofoam can be cut into virtually any shape.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, styrofoam is great for doors and tables also. For on a very, very low budget film, obviously. Yeah.
Do we have anything more to say? Should we move on to questions?
Okay.
That's what he has to say. Now let's move on to questions.
I don't have any more to say other than I'm glad you made this movie and had fun doing it. It's clear you had a good time.
It's clear. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
looks fun.
Yeah. Movies are always fun to make.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
What have you made before this or since this? And do you have another film that's already in progress?
Yeah.
Why did you make such a long film? I just want to know what the reason was. Was it for a class assignment? Did you just like doing it? What up?
And what are if anything, are we missing from the story you're trying to tell? Is there more to the murderer character that we're not picking up on? I'd love to hear you fill in some of the gaps.
Yeah, I definitely want to know if this is one of your earlier films and if you're working on anything else. And
Wow, cool.
Yeah, don't use real blades. It's dangerous.
yeah, that is dangerous.
We're the nanny
Yeah.
show.
I actually
Nanny State.
I learned that the hard way.
Did you cut someone?
Like I killed my actor.
You did?
Yeah.
You know
I
this
shouldn't
is
say
going to
that
be
here,
on
should I?
YouTube.
No, I did actually. We used a real knife and we cut someone's hand.
Really?
Yeah, and it killed continuity.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, don't use real.
That's because it'll ruin your continuity.
Yeah, that's the only thing
yeah.
I'm worried about, really. Yeah, the camera was fine, so that's good.
I worked with a guy who wanted to do this stunt where he was jumping off a wall. It was about 12 feet high, and he wanted to do a box landing.
Yeah.
Big stack of cardboard boxes to land in, and he was sure he could pull it off. And I had helped him come up with a series of shots that could make it look like he had made the jump, but not actually do it. And he insisted he needed to do it. And when he jumped, his leg went straight in between boxes and all the way down to the concrete without
Jeez.
anything slowing it down.
Jeez.
And just shattered into pieces.
Dang.
That's
dude.
crazy.
He limps to this day. It's
That's
been
insane.
10 years.
That's
Dang.
insane.
Yeah,
That's
so
nuts.
just be careful when you're making movies, folks.
Absolutely. Jeez, man.
Remember, filmmaking is the art of fooling people. Fakery. Farce.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, though, for sending the film, Tom.
Yep. What a hoot.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah,
hoot.
Yeah. We always love watching films of any
Yeah.
experience level.
Send us some other previous work of yours if you have any previous work or future projects. We'd love to stay in touch.
And if you're not the filmmakers watching this and you're just someone else watching this and you have a short film, you could submit it to us by going down into the description, clicking on the Google forum link, fill out the forum, send us the film, we'll review it.
No.
It'll be awesome. It'll be great.
Okay.
No, because then we have to be here more.
What? You guys act like you don't like doing this.
It's
You don't like doing this?
no, I like it's
You don't like The Void?
every time we get a new
What,
film.
you don't like Payman?
I have a family, Taylor.
Who cares?
I want to go back home to my wife.
I don't care. This is better than your wife. This is more important. This is more important. The Void. Short film roundup is more important. What about loyalty?
Loyalty to what?
Short film roundup. Payment. Loyalty to payment.
No.
He's gotten to Taylor, I think.
Let's take a break.
Yeah, D and I have that thing.
We have
We have a thing to take.
We have a thing.
We'll,
I would know about the
now
thing.
you
No,
stay here.
I would know about the
You
thing if
just
there was a
stay-
real thing.
Why don't you stay right where you
I would
are?
know. Oh, D, you can get up out of the chair.
We'll be back later. You just stay put. Just go.
The door?
Go.
There's
Go,
a
go.